Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual, guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. Let me start off by saying this. I apologize. I did not do a video for you guys yesterday. My job's caught up to me. Now, a lot of people panicked and sold yesterday. I was not one of them. You guys already know this. I did a short video. I was really angry about some YouTubers that flip flop and they say one thing and then they say another, and they're doing it sometimes to just get viewership. I only do a video if I feel I'm bringing something of substance to you guys and to help encourage you, because I've always said this and I will always continue to say it. I invest based on future projections, not the short term. So even when these analysts, and a lot of people have to stop listening to these analysts. Even in my last video, I spoke about why we need to stop listening to these analysts. They manipulate the market numbers. And it's like I was saying, when Nio was only putting out 20,000 cars, they were saying it's valued at $68 a share. But now we're putting out 160,000 EVs, and we have over 2,000 swap stations with numerous partners lined up to sign up for us, with Alps and Firefly coming out, with the Abu Dhabi government giving us over $2 billion, etc., etc. I could go on and on. And they're saying, oh, well, it's worth $15. Some of them saying $8.50. So people must use critical thinking if they want to make money in the stock market, bottom line. And I've come to the conclusion, some of you guys might not agree with me on this, but whenever someone put negative, like Neo is going to $2 or something nonsense or just being nasty, I'm deleting their comment and I'm blocking them, because I'm not going to allow that negative energy to drag me down with them. Anyway, guys, let me say this. Neo was last trading at $7.95 yesterday after market close, 2 cents up. In the beginning, it went all the way to $7.75. I was able to buy some more shares on my Fidelity platform. And I think I bought 50 more over there. The 52-week low is $7 and the 52-week high is $16.18. So a lot of things have helped beating us down, right? We have a lot of YouTubers that are putting out, oh my God, this is going to hurt us. And when they do that, you have some people that depend on us, that look at us, might think, oh man, I need to sell. And they just do it for views. Then they come out a half hour later, great news. This is going to create millions and millions for the company. And when I didn't know what was going on in the stock market, I was one of the people who would panic and sell when I hear stuff like that. And then I'm like, oh my God. So imagine if you sold at 775 yesterday morning, and then it went back up to 795. You're like, oh my God, what's going on here? So also apart from Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley cuts earnings estimate across China's auto chain. Morgan Stanley, I'm sorry guys, and let me say this, please forgive me for the lighting, and I forgot to walk with my mic, so I hope you guys can hear me. I'm doing this on one of my jobs on my lunch break. Morgan Stanley cuts its price targets on Nio and Xpeng while raising its price target on Li Auto. Now, I already said that Nio is one of the only companies that are going to get the huge tax break that was just passed for having battery as a service. Also, with Nio rushing now with the partnerships to put out even more battery swap stations in areas of China where they don't have charging, we know that Nio's sales are going to pick up. Of course, in the month of February, we know it's a slow month in China. But anyway, so they maintain its overweight rating on them, saying it's overweight, right? And they put Li Auto at a higher price target. Now, what do you guys, use your common sense, guys, what do you guys think will happen as we continue to build out charging stations, and these people can now have, swap stations in areas in Beijing and other places where charging stations are not, are not, there's no room for it, so to speak, right? And people are living in apartments and stuff like that. So what do you guys think will happen? See, this is why I keep saying long-term projections, right? And Li Auto is not going to get that tax break because they don't have battery swapping systems. They are getting into the EV field now. But Morgan Stanley lowered its earning estimates for the entire Chinese auto industry chain, saying that auto consumption will eventually change in tandem with economic growth, despite despite a strong performance in 2023. So this is what I was talking about. Remember when Citron came and gave the false report? That was the beginning of the decline for Nio, even though it was a lie and it was debunked. And then the propaganda just keep rolling on. Oh, what if Taiwan attacked China? Well, what if what if an asteroid hit the planet? What if people wake up and say, we're not going to eat junk food anymore? What happens to McDonald's? There's so many variables. Of course, there's what if and what if, but it did not happen, right? So all of the rhetoric keeps pulling down Nio and beating it down. And you guys have to use your critical thinking and common sense to say, okay, this is short-term rhetoric. Nio will dominate the landscape, and I keep saying that. Also, they're talking about the consumption will eventually change in tandem with economic growth. So they said that China slowed down last year, right? But yet we still sold more cars. And then if you guys listen to Xi Jinping address to the nation, which I did, he said that China should expect a 5% growth this year. But they're pretending not to know that and hear that. This is what I keep telling you guys. Do your own research and due diligence. This is why I look at Shanghai Eye and different Chinese news stations as well to find out what's going on. Analyst Tim, and by the way, Morgan Stanley does own shares of Nio. They do. They own in the millions of shares. So why are they doing this? Do you think that they... I'll let you guys decide why they are doing this. I'll let you guys decide. Please put it in the comments. Analyst Tim Xiao team cut their earnings estimate for the Chinese auto chain by an average of 16.4% and 11.8% for 2024 and 2025, according to a January 7 research note sent to investors. Our updated, and I quote, our updated forecast suggests average earnings growth of 8.8% for OEMs, including the EV trio, for which we see 78% revenue growth in 2024, the team wrote. The EV trios refer to US-listed Nio, Xiaopeng, and Li Auto. The team's average 2024 earnings forecast for OEMs are 7.8%, below market expectations of 5.7% for auto parts companies and 26% for auto dealers. Their forecast for China's total passenger car sale in 2024 was maintained at 25.5 million units, representing a 2% year-on-year decrease. Meanwhile, the team raised their forecast for China's 2024 wholesale new energy vehicle sales to 10.7 million units from 10.2 million units, representing a 21% year-on-year increase and a penetration rate of 42%. China December wholesale of passenger NEVs are estimated at 1.13 million units. And remember, guys, last year, even though China economy slowed down just like the American economy, I mean, we have people lined up at food markets over here, right? At food pantries. That's how bad it has gotten over here now. So even though it slowed down, China sold more EVs last year than the year before. So what does that tell you guys? Okay, so even with economic slowdown, people still spend money in certain sectors, right? Even during the pandemic, we saw some companies here thrive during the pandemic while others went bankrupt. Just food for thought, guys. So November, according to data released on January 3rd by the China Passenger Car Association, preliminary estimates show that for the full year of 2023, China wholesale passenger NEVs will be at 8.8 million units, up 38% year-on-year, according to the CPCA. They're proving my point. On the retail side, the CPCA estimated China December passenger car retail sales to be around 2.27 million units, with passenger NEVs expected to be around 940,000 units. This means that full-year passenger car retail sales for 2023 are expected to reach 2.17 million units, implying a year-on-year growth of about 6%. And Xi Jinping said what they're getting ready to implement this year is going to cause the economy to grow by 5%. So, of course, Morgan Stanley, and they don't tell you these things, right? This is what I keep telling you guys. This is the game they play, and they continuously shake the weak off. Now, the shorts have a totally different agenda, right? Their agenda is demonic. They make money off of your demise. So they come and spread fear and propaganda. What happened to Nio now? Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. They need the Game of Thrones treatment that Theon Greyjoy got. Let me stop. Final figures for December corn NEV sales in China are not yet available. Shao team said China's 2023 passenger car sales were stronger than their previous expectations, but that shouldn't disrupt this cyclicality. The team attributes the 2023 sales performance to several factors: government support, subsidies to sustain consumption amid this decelerating economic growth, just like here in America, and rich product lineups with more aggressive NEV product rollout. So, they always talk about China's subsidies, right? Right here in America, if you buy an EV, I think it's like $7,000 or $8,000 tax rebate now. So these are the things they don't tell you. And rich product lineups with more aggressive NEV product rollouts, pricing competition among OEMs, and partly passed on to upstream supply chains to take market share. And number 4, solid export progress with leading OEMs accelerating overseas expansion. And what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Everything that they say we're doing. Overseas expansion, right? BYD, we saw take a huge market share away from Tesla in China. And I keep saying this. What do you guys think will happen when we bust out the Alps? Possibly this month. I keep saying that. And we're going to get, the consumers in China is going to get that big tax break because of the battery as a service model. So, and again, I proved it again. People who panic and sold at 775, now it's back up to 795 at the end of the day yesterday. So, however, big ticket consumption items such as automobiles are expected to follow some replacement cyclicality and fundamentally change in tandem with economic growth, the team said. But we know that is hogwash because the Chinese government keeps supporting. That is one of the industry they keep supporting, whether there's economic growth or not, because China is the leading country in green energy. And that's not spreading FUD or it is a known fact. They have more solar power, solar fields, and more solar industries, and the most advanced solar industries in the world. So, in addition, overseas initiatives may take some time to bear fruit as EU subsidy investigations and overseas plant capital expenditure cycles may cause problems for exports, according to the team. Now, I do agree with that. We do have some headwinds with Ursula von der Leyen, or whatever her name is trying to stop the Chinese EVs from coming over because she says it's too much competition, right? The Europeans can't keep up, can't compete against them because they have superior technology and they're getting them at a cheaper price. So Ursula von der Leyen is screwing over, excuse my language, the Europeans, just like we're getting screwed over here in America, where we can't get Nio because the Biden administration is blocking it. But I said this before, Gavin Newsom was in China and he sat in a BYD and he said, man, I want these over here. So, and we also already have a foothold in California. I keep saying this is where I believe we will enter. I keep saying that even Tesla will have to bend the knee to Nio in order to survive over in China, because if they don't accept battery as a service and those batteries keep degrading and people realize that they can't hold a charge and their EV is worthless, what do you guys think will happen? So BYD, all of them have to come to us. What do you guys think will happen? So this is one of the main reasons for my channel, is to keep reminding you guys why we invested in this future behemoth that's going to dominate the landscape. Why did we invest in this future giant that they can't stop? And this is going to give you confidence, hopefully, to keep buying the dips like I did again today, and like some of my other subscribers said that they did. Because back in the day, I was one of the guys who got scared and sold because this analyst came out and said this. Even though they own shares. Are they, oh, and let me say this, guys, are they selling their shares? They lowered the price target. Does that mean that they tell you to panic and sell? No, but this is how people interpret it. This, I'm glad I thought about this. This is how people interpret it, and they stay poor and they die poor, sadly. So the team expects intense price competition to persist in 2024, albeit intermittently. So he means, there'll be price wars back and forth. But again, why is Alps going to destroy them? Because we're getting that $8,000 tax incentive for having battery as a service. So if we come out with it with about, say, worth 25 grand, you take 8 grand off, we'll decimate the competition. Decimate it, guys. So South team said they focus on thematic opportunities such as the rising adoption of smart driving and emerging value content from NEV product launches by companies such as Li Auto, XPeng, and Nio. Smart driving, emerging value. Who has the God chip? So do you guys think Li Auto and XPeng is ahead of us in autonomous driving? I think not. I did a video about that, of how many roads we have already charted in China. We already know we have the God chip. We already saw with our own eyes where the Nio manager came out of the EV and commanded to go and swap the battery, and it did so on its own. Is XPeng able to do that? Did they do anything like this? Is Li Auto doing this? No, sir. No, sir. Now, the team cuts its price target on number of companies in the auto chain, lowering XPeng to $23 from $25, Nio to $13 from $18. Listen to that, from $13 to $18. They did not say to run and sell. Oh, God. But maintains an overweight rating on both companies. As of Friday, U.S. stock market closed. Nio stood at $8.06. That was on Friday. So we know it closed at $7.95 yesterday, guys. I hope this helps shed some more light again. When the negative Nancys who pooping in their pants and the trolls who's running to the hills and begging for their mommy and coming in my channel for us to hold their hands, I will not hold your hand. Be a man and pull your pants up. This analyst is not saying to sell. He's saying there's going to be some headwinds. We knew that from the beginning. It's a new company. Bring the headwinds on, baby, because I'm looking 5 years ahead, where I'm going to buy some more rental properties and go and watch a Manchester-Liverpool game and go and watch India play England, a cricket match at Lord's Stadium. How many of you all are with me? Put that in the comments, guys. If you guys found this video informational, inspirational, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Please share this on your social media as usual, guys, to bring more awareness to Nio. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we have that warrior mindset where we get rich or we die trying, guys.